from last month.
Oh yes, quite a beautiful reading.
Quite a beautiful reading. Pisces gets the star a lot.
They do.
And so does Aquarius.
Let's see what they get this time.
First card representing the overall environment of the month. Last overall environment of the month card for the year of 2015.
You've got some worries.
It is the 9 of Swords.
But these worries are not, they're not necessarily tied to real things.
Mm-hmm.
They're imagined.
Right.
They can be imagined. But nonetheless, you enter the month, something's troubling you, worrying you.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever that may be.
Right. Well, it's really, this card is about a sense of impending doom.
Doom, yes.
And it's not as if the doom
actually happens.
Yeah, it's just this concern. That
you're worried about something.
It's a sort of Damocles.
Yes.
Which
sort
we
of
talk about.
Damocles,
Yeah.
Suspended by a
horsehair.
Horsehair.
Yeah, you
right
get to
over
sit in the
your
driver's
head.
seat as long as you're willing. And that is really the story of the sword of Damocles.
Right.
If you want to be king or queen, you also have to sit underneath this sense of impending doom, you know. So it's sort of like it's like you give up your sense of security in order to be queen for a day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or
Well,
not your sense of security, but it's like there's this like nagging sort of fear.
Right, but whenever
or stress.
you're given much, you're also given a great deal of responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that could be a possibility as well.
But for some reason it's stressing you out.
It's stressing you. So you feel you enter the month a little stressed.
But you're still queen.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And then we have the Page of Pentacles.
In the position of challenge, we have the Page of
All right,
Pentacles.
so this means that the Page of Pentacles is again an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's just learning something learning to do something on a very material level, like I don't know, it could be like plumber, like
a plumber. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Some
trade.
Some trade.
Okay.
And your challenge is to either learn a new trade
Mm-hmm.
or bring in someone who has these skills.
A tradesman.
A tradesman.
Right.
And
interesting.
yes.
I've never really heard you
Oh, yes,
kind of go
that's
into
what
that
it is.
before.
Yeah.
Well, and also it could be a child. Your
It can
challenge could be a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo, which, I mean, come on, you're an Aquarius. So this is a very grounded child
Mm-hmm.
who probably doesn't like the fact that you're maybe not as, I don't know.
Yes, conscious of level-headed.
Like earthy.
Yeah, like you're not level-headed enough.
Yeah.
So they're a challenge to you.
Yeah, you're not grounded enough for them.
Yeah.
That could be a girl or boy.
It could be a girl or a
But
boy.
it could also, your challenge could be, it's also messaging, and pages are always
about
can
practical things.
represent a message.
Yeah, but on a very practical level.
Yeah.
About practical things.
Yeah, so maybe there's some sort of, messaging that has come to you that requires you to be practical.
Mhm.
Now, we're not saying all Aquarians are
No.
non-practical.
No, many of them are very practical.
Very, very
They
practical.
can do everything.
Yes, they can.
On a everyday level.
They certainly
really
can.
can.
But sometimes if you're going to be queen, you have to deal with other people's issues.
Right.
And maybe you have to deal with somebody who's sort of immature,
Mm-hmm.
who you have to do the practical things for this immature person. I mean, and that's another option. They're not attending to what is practical, so guess who gets
That's
to
true.
do it? Because you're queen.
Right.
That's
So
your
let's-
responsibility.
Let's see what else happens. Oh my. Hippy dippy.
Oh, that's such an Aquarius card.
Unexpectedly, you become a hippie.
Man,
You
every
say,
time we read
I
for
don't care about it all. I'm just going to tie-dye my shirts, lay around in my hammock, sip my mint julep, and let the world go by. like
Yeah.
that. Sort
Yeah,
of like,
just sort of like-
oh, let go of it all. You handle it. You take care of it all.
Mhm.
You know, and or
Flipping people off, that's what it makes me think of.
unexpectedly, you know, it's a marriage that might not happen.
That's true, but can I go back to flipping people off?
Yes.
Because that's really what this card reminds me of.
Mhm.
How many Aquarians do you know who just want to flip people off? They're
Most.
like, you should do it like this, and they're like,
Right, right,
you guys are the queens of the middle finger.
right. You know
So-
how to tell them, this is not what I want. So it's really, it's doing something in your own way,
Right.
and or delay in if there's marriage
Mm-hmm.
or you're trying to enter into a school,
Mm-hmm.
there's a bit of delay and difficulty in getting that moving forward unexpectedly.
Yeah. Or if you're in a marriage, it could mean that you're in a non-traditional marriage.
Or yes,
Or you turn that traditional marriage on its ear.
into a non-traditional one.
Let's
Let's
move on for the
move
outcome
on.
of 2015, and we have?
The Wheel of Fortune reversed.
Yeah!
So,
We got to get this wheel unstuck.
yes, we got the wheel stuck.
So what are we
So
going
at
to
the end of the
do?
month, you just can't, you're trying very much to move the wheel up, but it's just stuck.
So what does that mean? To move into the next
To move into
evolution?
the next evolution is difficult yet. There's a delay, another delay.
Mhm.
There's an attempt, there's a huge attempt being made. Every element is there for this transition,
Mhm.
but they just can't get it moving
Because it's a practical matter.
because it might be a practical matter.
Yeah, I know. I just look at this and I see this page of pentacles, page of pentacles, you know, and I always see this as the major arcana pentacle. So it's like, you know, your challenge is to, you know, sort of this new practical to grow this,
Right,
you know, and it's just beginning.
right. So you're trying to institute some sort of traditional order too.
Or you're trying to become maybe even more
Traditional,
practical.
practical traditional, but you
Uh-huh.
can't do it.
Right, or maybe it's even just taking a look at your finances and really getting your head wrapped around it if you've never really done that before.
And consequently, all it means is that you've got all the elements there
Mhm.
for you to make that wheel turn, but it isn't ready to turn at
Right.
the end of the month yet.
Yes,
That's all.
Because you
it's
haven't-
really a card that's good no matter if it's reversed or not.
but you're still a student of this, so there's a
Mhm.
lot to be learned.
Right, there is.
So however this applies to you, continue to work.
right.
Because
Your
it's only
timing's
just
off.
begun.
Your timing's off. Because it's about timing.
I don't think we're seeing this exactly the same way.
No?
No.
Okay.
What I see right here is that you're becoming a student of practical matters within your life. Because what I see here is this 9, where yes, you're sitting on the throne, but you're suffering greatly for that ability to sit on the throne. So what do we have in the challenge position? It's like, okay, so here we have this beautiful page, okay, he's a student, he's a young, you know, person, naive in the ways of the practical or of the finances, and, you know, living this non-traditional lifestyle, which is, hey, who wants to worry about that? Let somebody else worry about that. I'm just carefree and doing my art. And then what does it take to move this wheel forward?
Well, it takes many things, as you can see surrounding that, the 4 corners. Many elements need to be in place. All the elements, fire, water, air, and earth.
Just as we did in our
Yes, all
solstice
those
celebration.
things. Yes, and maybe you should join our solstice celebration to bring together all the elements, because they're not working in harmony.
They're not all there.
They're not all there.
I feel
or
as if you're a student of the earth,
the earth.
the practical.
Right.
At this point, it's just beginning, and
That's, yeah, and you're having a hard time instituting or making this institutional, you know, to make your life have structure.
Okay.
And so because you're having a difficult time making your life to get that structure in place, you can't move into the next phase. You can't transform.
Right, structure, especially the structure within practical matters.
Yes, absolutely.
Which within the corner of finance, being grounded.
Right.
You know, just
Yes.
things that aren't that sexy, I guess.
Right. Oh gosh, I really do feel that if any of the signs could use a personal reading, this one could.
Yeah.
Because there's so much in here that needs to be
Addressed. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and if this is, you know, we read for all the signs every month, and a lot of people will say, you guys are so broad. Well, that's because we're reading for, like,
A million people under
right,
each category.
globally.
Globally, and we have to be broad.
Yes, because we're trying to touch
But,
each and every one
in
of
the
you.
personal readings, we become specific. And we do that through various cards and through your questions and through what you can reveal to us about your concerns.
Because I
Yeah.
can see a lot of possibilities here.
Oh, yes.
But it certainly is an Aquarian reading.
Absolutely.
See lots of qualities of Aquarius
Yes.
here. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Aquarius.
Please click here if you would like to look at a
Over
menu
here?
of services
down
for
there.
personal readings. Down here you can click if you just want to go to the page and not mess around. Also, we have counsel cards available down below. You can click
Yep.
there; they pop right up. You know, you can subscribe.
And share, please.
And
We
then-
really appreciate that.
Yes, and then please join us also for a ritual.
Please. So thank you, Aquarius, and have a wonderful solstice.
That's right.